Hello, this is Bonnie, and I wanted to share with you the brand new Fairy Hugs craft papers that we have. This one is Vanilla Cloud, and the intention behind this paper is to allow you to stamp just plain images and having your slight background, like we have some grayscale backgrounds that you can stamp on top of. I'm going to show you how the papers work with the new release stamped images, but they also work really great for any stamps that you want to use. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. It's a little bit different this time. They are 6x6, and there's 24 double-sided sheets, but there's 12 designs, not 24 like we usually have, and there's 4 of each. And one thing that's really new in this paper pad is we have sentiments that you can cut out and use. So I'm going to go ahead and start page by page. I'm going to turn it just so that I can show you them as we go. Now this one looks very plain, and for the most part it is. It has very, very, very light gray spots on it. The other thing I wanted to tell you, and I will do this in another video, is you can stamp and use Copics and colored pencils, and lightly you can use watercolor on here very lightly, because I have also done that when I have created the cards that I made. So this one right here is similar to this first one I'm going to show you. You can hardly see the design at all in here, but what you are seeing is a stencil and how the stencil works really great on top of this. And like I said, again, you can stamp in color on this and it works really well with the watercolor pens and stuff. But what I have used, and in fact I stamped each one of these. I'm going to show you which paper I used. And it's in this paper pad right here. This right here is what I used to stamp each one. Let's see if you can see that design of these stamps I'm going to be showing you, and then I colored them. So again, I used a stencil on this one. It worked really great, and just to let you know, the ink I used was Distress Oxide ink, the Lost Shadow, and it works perfectly to give you that tone on tone. So that's the first paper. This next paper is like a tulle. And again, I want to make sure I can get that color in there for you so you can see it's very new. It's subtle, it's neutral, but it has a really nice background to it. Now that's what this looks like when you use it on a card. And you can see it's completely in the background, and it's right here too. I'm going to see if I can tilt that a little bit. This is a shaker card, and that works too for that. And every one of these are our new designs from our latest release. And this one's called Drake. The first one was called, I think, Frosty Angel. Okay, so then this next paper, as you can see right here, it has a subtle wood background to it. You can see the lines there, and then it also has some more designs on it. That you can hardly tell on this piece, on this card, is the exact same paper, and that's because I actually added a stencil, and I used Fairy Hugs stencil Winter Twigs, and then I did some inking and put this on top. But when you look close, you can actually see that's the same paper, and that's what I'm saying. It's really an awesome background paper, but you can stamp on it, which is, like I said, what I did with these. And these are all done with actually Prismacolor pencils. I should say that first one, this one here, this is Fairy Hugs Galaxy stencil. All right, let's continue on, see if I can get this going a little bit quicker for you. So we have 2 more papers here, and this one right here, I'm going to show you again. You can see that how that goes. You can use this in any direction you want to. I kind of looked at this as kind of like a hill in a way. And then this, and it doesn't have to be, again, is the wood plank looking paper. And all the paper has a very subtle looking, it's like a canvas looking texture to it, but it's flat. It's just in the design. So here is the card that I made using that paper. And I also added another stencil to it, and this one is called Swirling Snow by Fairy Hugs. And then I went ahead and stamped again, like I said, on top of it, and I put some sequins at the top of that. But you can see how that just makes a really nice, it kind of like gives you the shading for like a hill. It's just a really cool paper. It allows you to be very creative. And then the paper on the opposite side, it's really cool. It's kind of Nordic looking in a way. And I use that, which you could use for any of these, for the llama that we have, that's Felice. And you can see that also in the background. So you can see how you can put color on. It just works really well. All right, so the next paper. A lot of these are foliage and leaves. And again, you can use this in any direction. So it's really cool. And let's see here. I made this card using this paper right here. And I put Lulu the turtle on here. And she's just in the background, or the paper's just in the background. I added the snowflakes, and it makes a great card. All right, then this side has a little bit longer leaf petals, if you want to call it that. And I made this card with that paper. And you can see the leaves back here. All right, and our next one is another leaf paper. I want to see if I have that in the same direction. I do. And this is Flappy, and you can see that again in the background. It just makes a great, I can't say that enough, great background paper. And then the next one, I'll show you this first. This is what I'm talking about. We have sentiments, and you can see how many sentiments we have. You can cut these apart and use them that way. And then the back side of them, and then we also have, I should say that too, we have them with a white background in the black font, or like the black background with the white font. Exact same sentiments, so you have multiples to use. But on the back side of the sentiments, if you choose not to use the sentiments, is we have this paper, and it's really a very subtle paper, so if I can get that to show up. But it's really pretty. And I made this card with that. Let's see if you can see the design on that. And again, I stamped that. It was, as you can see, it's just a plain background. There's no moon or anything. I did the moon glow, that's what I call it. And then I also used Swirling Snow Fairy Hug stencil for that background. And you can see I just colored, stamped, and colored right on top of that. Now again, if you're going to use Copics, you have to follow your Copics rules and the ink that you use. Use Memento ink with your Copics, and that stamped fine on here. And I did even test it for Copics. And again, you're not going to use the back side of your paper, so it doesn't matter that it bled through slightly. But it's really nice because this has a little bit of a sheen to it, just so that it doesn't absorb as quickly as just regular cardstock. So anyway, that's the last card, and I think I have that. Yep, one more paper on the back side, and it just basically looks just like canvas. But again, it's just the texture that is built into the paper to make it look like canvas, but there's no texture raised up, so you can stamp perfectly fine on top of it. So that's the entire paper pad. However, you get 4 sheets of each. So that means, I'm going to make sure I'm saying that right so I can show you. So far we've already done 2 of the sentiments. There's 2 more. And there's the 3rd set. And then you have your 4th set. So you get a lot of sentiments in here. It's really worth your worth the deal doing everything with this. I really, really like it. So that's all I wanted to show you for today. And then my next videos will be stamping and coloring, so you can see how that works really well for the Vanilla Cloud paper. Thanks so much for stopping by.